Hi everybody, we are going to do a channeling session. This is going to be something a little bit different. I'm delving into something just a little bit different. We're going to be talking to Alon, commander of the human species, and he's in the book. If you want to learn about him and you have the book, The Benevolent. We're also going to talk about Fejba, who's in the book also, his twin, and a super soldier. Now he's given the name of this super soldier and his real name, not his super soldier name. Let's see, it was, oh, hold on. I know if I don't look this up, I'll say it wrong. Derev. His name is Derev. D-E-R-E-V. It's not Derev, they said it's Derev. So the E, it sounds like E. And this super soldier has had many lifetimes of how do I say it? The word that comes to me is crimes, a lifetime of crimes. But I don't think it's crimes of well, I'm not sure, to be honest with you. He's been a soldier. He's a super soldier. They're secret. And they are people and people's souls that have come down several times, and they're sought out and found and reactivated in the secret soldier program, because I believe they have many lives as a secret soldier. They may even have lives on different planetary systems as secret soldiers. They may even become other species. They may even be from other species. My thought is they don't go into a different gender. They stay the same gender. If they choose at an early age if they want to be male or female in the human race. So then they usually stay with that. And I do believe that, I don't know. Anyway. And I apologize, I have a cold, so I might have to put this on pause a couple times, as talking is kind of hard, because I have this gag reflex that I've always had. I think it's with my tonsils, so I get cough. So bear with me, because it's an important channeling. I need to do this channeling. I already tried to do it once, and I couldn't get through it. So, I'm at the tail end of this cold, so hopefully this will work. So, let me give you some information on Derev. He was discovered and put into the program on a life on a different planetary system. I'm seeing a red planet. I'm seeing like a red sky, red planet. As you know, many planets are encased, and the cities and factories are inside the planet. Very few reside on the outside of planets, and some reside on the outside and the inside of planets. Once he was deemed into the secret soldier program, it gets kind of tricky, because they have a soul of God. But it is those sectors, I keep hearing sectors, that control them, try to decompose their soul. They've actually tried to make it so these secret soldiers do not go in and out of lives. Because they know if they lose one, and they lose that soul, it goes back up to the spirit realm for pair. And then they could lose the soldier altogether. And then they have to hunt it down again and find it when it comes down for another life cycle. Because we're here for our own exaltation. But those that have been captured, it's a whole different story. Those of us that have just come down here for learning, growth, choice, consequence, striving, attainment, glory, joy, love. It's a different story when you're a secret soldier. You're just a different capacity of a soul because you've been touched by the mark. It's hard to get that out of the spirit of the soul. So this Derev was able to master and climb through the ranks of the stalwart secret soldier, powerful, large soldier on this red planet. This red planet was deemed hostile. And through this red planet, the intergalactic souls, Council of 12, Blue Star, and all other sovereign species knew they needed to eradicate this planet because it was taking souls, good souls. Now, this is a little complicated. You're asking, how can it take a soul? When it has a meaning, it has a purpose, it has a book of life, it has Akashic records. How could you take a soul? Souls go through a wormhole for their destination, and they usually are accompanied by a type of angel, guardian, family member, to get them to their proper destination. Well, sometimes that does not happen. There are souls that become captive. And at that time, then that angel or protector of the soul can be defeated. And then the soul is taken and put into something that is subhuman, alien, and the soul gets placed there. What they try to do, and I'm going beyond reptilian or Draco, I'm going beyond that. This is far worse. It is something that is so bad, so evil, so tainted, so horrible, I can't even see it. Nor do I want to see it. But they are there. And they're complete sanctified entities of their own domain because they copy. Evil copies God. Evil copies everything God has. Copies archangels, it copies everything. So just know that they copy everything. Very few times do they have original thought, but they do have the intelligence. And that they've created this disruption. So unfortunately, Derev was coming down to Earth to be a baby, to be raised in a semi-environment, not the best environment, but a semi, and he was cut off, captured, and his angel was defeated, not killed, but defeated. Thus the soul was taken and put into a highly evolved subhuman mechanical body and turned out to be one of their highest regards of super soldier on this planet. I keep asking for the name of the planet. I can see it. It's like gray dirt with hills. It just looks kind of like, not like the moon, but kind of like the moon without craters. There's no craters. It's smooth, but it's like gray dirt with some hills, and there's no vegetation. And there's a red cast, but coming from the sky. And everybody lives inside. Everything's inside that planet. I think they do their training on the outside of the planet as their atmosphere allows. So this super soldier was an impact at creating subhuman super soldiers. So he was the hierarchy and intelligence because his soul was human, really. Souls are not really human, but his soul was deemed through the human species because he was coming to Earth to be a human. What happens to make a super soldier like this is they have to capture humans on the Earth, bring them here, and then they're dissected and recreated to be a super soldier. Parts of their bodies are needed and deemed necessary for survival. And I'm asking, why do you need a human part for either organic or mechanical soldier? Because they want to mimic God, they're saying. Because the evil entities used to be human, and they love human. So they want to have a human skin, flesh part of the soldier. The head and neck, brain, eyes, teeth, skull, everything from the neck up is human. And inside, oh, so they recreate a whole body. So the mechanical part is on top of the human frame. But they deem these humans as giants. They took a lot of the giants off the earth. That's what they did. That's where a lot of the giants went. A lot of these guys took them, captured them, to bring them into the super soldier program. And it wasn't really called the super soldier program. That's just a human name. That's just a name that's been recreated upon this earth. It's not called that. I'll have to go deeper into that and find out the name. I keep hearing sectors. There's sectors, planetary sectors, and they're coded and sequenced. They're with alien script, so it really doesn't have a name. It's an alien script that I don't even know if you can decode into human language. It is a sound. It is a... I'm hearing a verb. So I'll delve in deeper. So with Derev, he lived, if you were to count in human years, thousands of years. They try to make these super soldiers so their souls never leave. They're encased in this body, and they don't die, they don't leave. Well, something happened as this master soldier. It was in flight. He was in flight. They were in combat. Because the sovereign and the benevolence surrounded the planet to destroy it. I've seen this before. Sorry. I've seen this before. I talked to my twin about this before. So Fejma and Alon actually landed on this planet. And they fought. There's a type of entity that these master soldiers fight with that they're not human. They're not anything. They're made. They're organic. I'm seeing two different. I'm seeing like crazy. I am seeing like stingrays that are flying in the sky with their long tail that has that zinger on the end. I'm seeing stingrays flying around. And then I am seeing a type of species, ugly, that are coming towards them to battle them. Now you have to understand that Fejman of Lon are a product of Michael the Archangel. They're taller in stature. They have extreme powers. And they usually like to fight alone, they say. And I have seen this battle scene before. Even though there's thousands, they're able to wipe them off. And Fejma does, she has an energy that she derives from her sword. And when she has two swords in her hand, she brings them up. And this energy, like lightning, comes down and it goes into a sonic boom. And it wiped off the evil entities on the land and the sky. Thus they won over the top of the planet. And then they burrowed in to the planet. There is other entities like the Quappa race. They can burrow into planets and evaporate outside and go into planets inside. The Quappa race, if you read in the book, are very like centipedes. They're burrowers, and they also have magnificent talents and abilities that is quite beneficial for the sovereign race to counterattack evil. So, what I'm seeing is once they're inside the planet, and a big fight ensues. And there is a force inside of these I want to call them SS soldiers, but I need to call them master soldiers instead of SS soldiers. They fight. They have warring dogs with them. These master soldiers have mechanical animals, not dragons, but animals like dogs that are of great heights that are very destructive. As they're all fighting, there's Pleiadians, there's Quappa race, you have Siho race, you have Mefeko's race, you have every single race fight. And I'm hearing millions of benevolence go into this planet. Millions of them cast themselves in and fight. They have certain weaponry that can stun these master soldiers. Doesn't kill them, but it stuns them for seconds. And when they stun them, they have to go into a circuit that's in the back of their spine. Where in their spine? It's where the neck and the brain meet. There's a circuit. And they have to deactivate that circuit to deactivate the super soldier. The master soldier. What's hard about this, what I'm seeing is the warring dogs. You can't stun them, so they have to fight the warring dogs off. They're hard to kill. So, let me focus on Vejba and Alan 1 second. As they're fighting, they come across this Derev. He has blonde hair. And he has large blue eyes. And it freezes Vejba in her tracks when he comes running at her to fight her. And then she doesn't go into fight mode. And Alon's back is to her, fighting behind her. And he's yelling at her to fight. And then the super soldier also stops. Because their eyes lock. And they're both shocked. I mean, they just both stop. And all this fighting is around them, but it's like all they see is inside each other's eyes. She knows him, and he knows her. His soul recognizes her. I can't tell you more about that right now. But Alon turns and is fearful he will take her out because she's not moving. It's like she's immobile. And he stuns him. And then he yells at her to move, and she cannot. And so he goes behind, climbs. I think these super soldiers are taller than Alon. And he has to climb up and break his circuit to deactivate him. And then he climbs down and he's just staring at Vejba, yelling at her. And then she slowly looks at Alon. And he's confused because he's looking at her. And then it just dawns on him. Because you know him? And she motioned her head yes. And then Zephyr comes up. As the fighting ensues farther down, leaving them. And Alon says, take him. We need him. Don't destroy him. Take him as a prisoner. And Zeph goes, no. We will destroy him. I will decapitate him. They have to decapitate them. To cut off their heads. To kill them. And he gets ready to do so, and Vejba grabs his arm and said, no, you will not kill this soldier. You take him. And Zeph looks at her, and he obeys. He obeys. So they take this super soldier, this master soldier, Derev. They take him on the Palladian ship. And they have to rewire his circuit so he does not wake up. That's what it is. So he's on the ship, paralyzed. I think he can move his head, and he can be verbal, but I don't think his body can move for what they've done. And they take him to a planet. Oh, this is where it happens. So they take him to a planet. They take him to Condor's planet. Now Condor's planet is a Garden of Eden, like on the outside. It has actual living water on it. Most planets do, if they're of good. But there's this type of ship inside, like inside most planets. They're like a flying ship, maybe? That's what I'm seeing. So I take this soldier inside to imprison him. They take his armor off him. They've never seen what a super soldier looks like without the armor, but they were able to peel off because their armor is like a puzzle. And they had to take it off him like a puzzle. Which revealed flesh underneath, which shocked them. They thought they would see circuits and wires, but it was flesh. And they realized that these are flesh. These were giants that they took off the earth and recreated them. And so they stripped that off and kept him where he was paralyzed from the neck down. But he saw everything. And they were not going to reactivate that due to his strength, even though they are quite strong. And they did not want to kill them because they did not understand why he was to be saved. But they honored the request by Fejba. And until she returned to this planet of condors, they would keep him imprisoned. We're going to do this in 2 parts. This will be part 1, well, maybe 3. There's going to be a big story here. So this will be part 1. We're going to end there. So we're going to wait for Fejba to go down to the planet. And we'll find out the history of his soul. She knows his soul. So, to be honest with you, people, when you look at someone's eyes, you're looking at their soul. If they have darkness in their eyes, you're looking at the darkness of the soul. And people could come down with an innocent soul and they create their own darkness, which shreds the soul, which we've talked about before, and then it needs to go into repair when it leaves this earth. Also, souls, when they die, can also be captured. Usually you're escorted by Anubis and their warriors, and that's why the Anubis come down to retrieve your soul when you pass, to take it back. Some people can see it and some people don't when they die. If you have a near-death experience and the soul is not contracted to pass and have a near-death experience, you will not see an Anubis, because they're only there for those that are contracted for release of the soul. And that's part of their job. Peace out.